We all know Florida is famous for its theme parks, beaches, and shopping malls. But what if I told you there was a place closer to any mall or theme park that includes a beach, as well as multiple activities to keep you satisfied all day long? And by visiting, you are helping to preserve endangered species and the environment. A place like this does exist, and it is known as St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge. It is only a short 40 minutes from Tallahassee. St. Mark's was founded in 1931 as a habitat for migratory birds. It's one of the oldest refuges in the United States and contains over 70,000 acres of land and 40 miles of the Gulf Shore. St. Mark's is also a habitat to many different forms of wildlife. One important one is the looping crane, which is a severely endangered species. It is also a habitat for monarch butterflies, who use St. Mark's as a stop on their migration from the north to Mexico. Prior to its existence as a national wildlife refuge, St. Mark's was an entry port for ships. The ships had trouble navigating through the changing levels of waters, so in 1828, a request was sent for a lighthouse, and the lighthouse began to be constructed that same year. In 1931, the area surrounding the lighthouse was incorporated into St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge. Today, the lighthouse is no longer used as a way to navigate ships, but rather stands as a pillar of history to all the visitors who come. Aside from the lighthouse, beach, and endless wildlife, St. Mark's offers countless outdoor activities to visitors, such as hiking one of the many scenic nature trails, year-round fishing in the bay, photography classes, camping, environmental education programs, and birdwatching, just to name a few. These activities make St. Mark's an appealing place to visit for someone of any age. I chose St. Mark's because it was a unique place to write about, it was relatively close to FSU, only 40 minutes, and because of the amazing lighthouse. Upon arrival to the refugee, we were greeted by friendly workers at the visitor centers. They gave us maps and told us how to reach the lighthouse. One of my favorite parts about the trip was that in the back deck of the visitor center, we saw an alligator. In order to get to the lighthouse and beach, we had to drive down an 11-mile road. I was not expecting St. Mark's to be so vast and so scenic. We were completely and utterly surrounded by nature, not just trees, but low-lying shrubs, swamps, moss, and of course, tons of animals. By the time we had reached the lighthouse, my chatty group of friends and I had fell silent. We were so captivated by the beauty around us that we didn't even need to say anything. As we walked towards the lighthouse, we began to see the bay. The lighthouse stood off to the left, tall and proud, as if it knew it was an important part of history to the refuge. The shore lining the bay was a combination of rocky and sandy beach, and in the distance you could see small boats rocking gently with the waves. We walked for 30 minutes along the beach in complete silence. It was so serene. After we walked along the beach, we decided to hike one of the many nature trails. It was so nice because there were very few people around, so it seemed as if we had the trail to ourselves. We ended up spending most of the day just walking around St. Mark's, and when we left, I wasn't sad to go. I knew that I had found a new visiting place that I could go when I was upset, anxious, or stressed, and feel completely calm. It was a place that wasn't surrounded by people, a place that didn't require me to be on my cell phone at all times, and a place where I found love for nature and all of its anti-stress qualities. I encourage everyone to visit St. Mark's. Not only are you relieving yourself from stress by visiting such a scenic place, but you are contributing to the environment that you live in. The $5 cost you pay to park keeps the refuge open to public. You are also contributing to preserve endangered species like the looping crane and promoting the conservation of wildlife refuges all over Florida. I promise you, there is more to Florida than public beaches, shopping malls, and theme parks, and I encourage you to discover these places for yourself.